Welcome, everyone, to another fun-filled, exciting adventure of Star Trek Reliant. I am your DM for the evening. I am JB. I play the fun-loving, adventuresome Chorog. And we'll go around the room introducing everyone, so everyone introduce yourselves.
Hi, this is Geraldine. I play Kara Junrani. I have very few morals and a compunction toward violence. I'm probably going to do well in this episode.
Greetings, I am Rick. Ooh, okay. I am Rick Tier, the chief engineer of the Reliant, and a pretty serious guy.
I am Duncan Idaho, and I am one of the several crew members just holding back the demons. I play Marcus Graves, as well as Setchigoro, as well as tardigrades, when we need tardigrades.
You know damn well that Kara can behave herself. She just usually doesn't.
Usually.
And I play the Chief Medical Officer / First Officer, Eli O'Connor. I've got nothing witty to say. It is serious business. It's German humor. It's no laughing matter. Shit, I'm Irish.
Do you know German spanners have only one setting? Wooden tight.
And I am Grumpy Old Nord. I play Chaplain Victor Waitley. I also play Grimner Tiberius, the ship's bartender, and I also play our most recent security ensign, Mary Shepard. I also have nothing witty to say, mostly because I'm not drunk enough yet.
Alcohol. The cause of, and solution to, all of life's problems.
These are the people I get to work with, folks. Pray for me.
You volunteered for this, remember.
Alright, so in this week's episode, we are going to be doing Chorog's episode. So, to get things going, as the camera pans in, Chorog is in a mood. When I say a mood, I'm talking about punch a hole in the deck plating mood. He has just recently found out that Madren has sunken even lower than he has before. He's into hired hits. And Chorog has just found out about Madren doing this. So yeah, he's not in the best of moods. He is walking down the corridor, muttering something very incoherent and something very nasty and Gnostican as he enters engineering. Az, what do you think?
Engineering is pretty bustling with energy at the time. A lot of people just going over various stats, looking at pads, discussing various things. Rick here is just at the Whoop Core, just going over some personnel records as he turns around and sees Chorog entering. He doesn't make an approach, but he does turn back to his. He just turns to face Chorog with a quizzical look on his face.
Chorog sees Rick Tier, notice him walk in. He's still pretty much full tilt boil mad. He gives a very brief salute to Rick Tier and goes over to a workstation where he sees a lieutenant. You mean a lieutenant? Anyone?
Well, if you're going to do that, Bueller.
Bueller it is. He spies Lieutenant Bueller taking apart a console for a reason that Chorog does not know. At this point, Chorog does not care. What do you think you're doing in my station? Chorog angrily growls at Bueller. I'm just making some repairs, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't know this was your thing. You should know this is my station. You've seen me work here before. At this point, Bueller is turning white as a ghost, scared half to death of this menacing Gnostican, angrily growling and shouting at him. Go elsewhere! Get out of my sight! As he dismisses Bueller. Bueller does everything he can not to pass out and wet himself as he tries to back away and run away. This obviously does get Rick Tier's attention because he could hear Chorog bellowing halfway across engineering.
Yeah, I'm going to have Rick T do a bit of a insight command check to see how well he interprets the mood, and that's a complication.
What a great roll.
No successes and a complication. So,
clearly, Chorog needs a hug.
Yeah, Rick Tier is going to go a bit closer. Seem a bit tense there, Chorog. Do you need a bit of perhaps a massage?
Chorog tries to maintain his composure, seeing as Rick Tier is his superior, but he turns around and stares lasers into him. Madren. That damn Madren. He's causing problems. I can't do anything about it. It's driving me nuts.
Alright, yes, we did, news of what happened did spread quite around the ship.
That little old is putting hits out on people now. That slime is sinking lower and lower by the second. God, I wish I could get my claws on him. I'd tear him apart.
Well, perhaps if we talk to the captain, then maybe he could there could be something that we could do as a ship about it.
Yeah, I'll go talk to the captain then. You'll excuse me, sir.
Yeah, try not to give Bueller any more problems. He's just doing a basic diagnostic on your console. I'll finish it up while you talk.
Very good. Chorog storms away to leave engineering. He sees Bueller. Chorog snaps his head over and shoots him a look, and Bueller wishes he could crawl under the warp core at this point. Chorog basically storms out of engineering and starts making his way to Graves. All the time, Chorog going through his mind. This Madren, this devious little Ferengi, he's sinking lower by the second. He's starting to put hits out on people. He's a menace to the quadrant. And if he was still on his pirate ship, Madren's ears would be adorning his office wall right now. But unfortunately, he's an exchange officer on a Federation ship there to learn. Try to get over some of those primal urges to murder, death, kill.
Graves does receive a comm message. Rick here to Graves.
Graves here.
We've apparently got a very upset Chorog that's heading your way. There was a situation with Madren the other day has really got him riled up. So, just a warning that he's coming to see you.
Graves takes a look at his itinerary for the day. Started with a nice read, and coffee, then a short chat with the ship's computer. He stares down at a small model of the starship Reliant that he's been assembling on recommendation from Whately as a relaxation exercise. Next, he's got an art appreciation appointment on deck 3, or art appreciation hour on deck 3, followed by a short remote lecture on crew mentorship, and an open mic musical recital on deck 8, and then reading group, Galaxian folk literature. He's actually looking forward to having this conversation with Chorog, so he just sets his model aside, leans back, and hopes the day goes sideways.
Chorog exits the turbo lift, full head of steam angry, still madder than a wet hen. That this Madren's running around free, and there's little to nothing you could really do about it at this point. It's probably talking to Graves will maybe net a solution, but he really does not quite know until he actually talks to him. Graves, like I understands, we're a little bit about Nausicaan, so hopefully this is maybe go Chorog's way, maybe not. But we'll have to find out. Chorog pretty much puts his finger through the doorbell.
Come in.
Chorog storms in, and you could pretty much see the massive storm cloud above his head, lightning bolts and thunder.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening.
Galileo.
Galileo!
Galileo Figaro.
Chorog walks in. He sees Graves. Looks like he's expecting him. Captain, we need to talk.
Do we now?
Yes. It's Madren. We need to do something about that little Topa. He's sinking lower by the day, and he's putting out hits on people.
Yeah. I've passed on to Starfleet Security. The question is going to be ultimately, are we in the position to do something about it?
Chorog trying to keep his cool. Here's what Graves is saying. Sir, Madren is a menace to the quadrant. He preys on unsuspecting cargo ships. Is it not the Federation's duty to protect those kind of people? Madren he needs to be stopped.
Well, yes. The problem is that the Federation is very large and does have people specially trained for this type of operation. Although that hasn't necessarily stopped us from doing incredibly stupid and dangerous things in the past. USS Reliant is currently assigned to help with exploration duties around Starbase Magellan. We are not necessarily on a frontline security type operation, unless you have fresh intel.
Sir, it would not take very much for me to get some kind of intel on some kind of lead where we can get at him. If we can't get him directly, I can find other ways to get at him. He has all kinds of men and all kinds of underlings that we pinch one of them, he's going to squeal like a little piggy.
Yeah, and I'm kind of inclined to agree with you here. I mean, back on the wrench, I've seen my fair share of, kind of sideways businessmen fall into darker schemes. And yeah, I do appreciate what effect Madren has in particular on systems. He might even stoop to, slave mining at the worst of it. So, or I should say, I hope at the worst of it. But at any rate, though, you've done enough on this ship that I think I could trust you on handling a small security operation. The one limit I do want to place on you is simply on our methodology and our overall objective here. We want to disrupt Madren's operation. We want to find information about Madren. We ultimately want to apprehend Madren. Not kill. We do want to separate that from other dealings that I've seen. And we don't go there.
That is fully understood, sir. As much as my internal instincts is to rip him arm limb from limb and gut him and feed the remains to my pet Targ back home, I will restrain myself. I can find information to disrupt his operations. That will not be a problem, but I'm going to need a team to do it.
All right. Easily enough done. I'll also give you a little bit of advice from a mentor figure. You can cause physical pain on someone, but if you really want to cause anguish for someone like Madren, you don't go for the arms. You go for something more creative, more wounding to their pride. That will give a little bit more satisfaction, sting a little bit harder.
I go after his assets.
Yeah, and how do you go about that? Well, basically, the more creative, the better. So, just giving a little bit of advice there. As far as the team, let's see, who do you want? Whately would probably be pretty effective here.
Actually, after I got done talking with you, I wanted to go see Whately to clear some things from my mind. Stuff that's been bothering me for some time now.
All right. I also want, for what you're going to be involved with, I want Whately as say the mission is yours, but I do want a senior officer involved here.
That's fine.
All right. Now, as far as the other parts of your little security team here, if you have any ideas, definitely let me know. Otherwise,
Kara.
I'll let you build.
I want Kara on my team. I trust her. We work well together.
Graves has a flash of, I've kind of pushed Kara into a lot recently, and I wouldn't necessarily put this as a situation where I would push Kara into after everything that Graves has pushed Kara into. So Graves says, run it by her, but definitely give her the option to say, know if she's busy. She's kind of had to deal with a lot of crap recently.
Very well.
Um,
I'm also
for me in
looking at.
particular.
I also have checkers in mind.
Oh, checkers, perfect. Yeah, and if you have anyone else that you need over time, like new need comes up, just run that by me.
And for a little added muscle, I'm going to talk to Grimnir. I need a tough to look tough in the background. A strong, silent type. Know what I mean?
Just a second, I'm going to type something out here. Okay. Because I think for checkers, I think we put them both on Magellan, but since I just set our operation as supporting Magellan, we can just be in spinny orbit of Magellan.
Okay.
Oh, one's on Reliant, one's on Magellan. Okay. Okay, that's fine then.
Very good, sir. And thank you for listening and understanding where I'm coming from. I owe Madren for I owe him a little pain, if you know what I mean. He wronged me in a very personal way, and I have not been able to let go of that. Which is why I need to go talk to Whately.
Yeah, and one of his schemes put us in confrontation with the Tel Shiar, so I'm not especially endeared towards him either. So go ahead and speak to Whately, but for now, you've got my full support on this mission.
Thank you for understanding and listening, sir.
Very good. Well, off to it. If anything happens, let me know. And, yeah, I do have some experience in dealing with, let's just say, back channels and CD installations, so if you need a little bit more assistance, I'd also be available.
Thank you, sir.
Now
to go see a shrink about getting in my head.
As Chorog leaves the ready room, of course, he'll have to pass by the bridge, where Kara is sitting at her station drinking a soma.
Ah, Kara, just who I wanted to see.
Oh, hey, Chorog, what's up?
What do you got planned over the next couple of weeks? I need your expertise on a small little mission I'm putting together.
I like where this is going. You're my kind of guy. You understand that violence isn't the answer. It's the question. And the answer is yes.
Excellent. I will brief you when the time is ready to put this mission together. Just know we're going after Madren, but we're going after him indirectly.
I have no idea who that is, but sounds like fun.
Let's just say you're going to hate him by the time you find out what this scummy little Ferengi's done.
I trust you on that one.
Very good. I will be in touch. As Chorog then leaves the bridge, boards a turbolift, and starts heading towards Whately's office. Whately should be able to sense Chorog coming.
Oh, yeah. We'll say by the time Chorog gets there to the deck that Whately's quarters are on, the turbolift door opens onto the deck, and Whately's already standing there, hands clasped behind his back, head tilted a little to the side. You seem to be in need of some assistance. How may I aid you?
I need to get something off my chest. Something that's been bothering me for a very long time. It's affecting me, and I can't have that affecting me going into this mission, or else I'm going to be tempted to gut Madren the minute I see him.
Whately quirks an eyebrow, barely constrains a bit of a half smile. He nods and says, I see. Follow me, please. And he goes down the corridor to his deck and hits the button to open the door and does like a little gesture and says, after you.
Thank you, sir. Chorog enters the quarters. Looks for a place to sit down, I suppose. That's the therapeutic position, I guess.
Trying to remember, has Chorog been in Whately's room before?
Chorog barely leaves his quarters.
Okay, so yeah, no. I didn't think so, but for some reason I was thinking there was maybe one time, but okay. So basically Whately's quarters is divided into two sections. One is like his own little private area that's kind of blocked off from everything else. And the other is very think stereotypical modern counselor psychiatrist's office where it's like he's got the desk, but it's more like a casual laid back kind of, not like a very professional looking desk. It's like a half desk and like a recliner. And then he's got like the usual, the stereotypical, the chaise lounge kind of, you sit back and relax. He's got a beanbag chair. Like, there basically anything you can think of you would want to sit in to be comfortable is there. And he gestures and says, sit where you like. And he goes and sits in his chair and pulls out a pad and says, you don't mind if I take notes, do you?
Absolutely not. You may take notes. I hope you have a few spare pads, because my mind's a train wreck.
Waitley grins and says, oh, no need to worry about that. So where would you like to begin?
Well, it all started a year
And of course,
half
this is a
ago.
flashback, so the screen goes doodle-doo, 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 with wavy lines.
Well, when JB said, or when Chorog says, well, it all started, I thought it was going to be like a flashback to when he was like a little Nausicaa knee high to a Targ or something. And we were going to do that.
I just have this scene from, the line from Johnny Dangerously here of, Waitley going, what the hell? And Chorog just going, oh, don't worry, it always does this when I talk about the past.
Oh, God. Yes, great. They're talking, yes.
Nice resolve. Anyway, it all started about a year and a half ago. Back when I was in my old pirate crew. We were the raucous bunch. We didn't care who we raided, we didn't care who we hurt. My crew and I got talking, and we wanted to upgrade the ship. Get something have a little surprise for our unsuspecting victims. So we raided our piratey guts out. We raided for a full year. Just non-stop raiding, collecting swag, getting credits. And we finally got enough credits to meet with this Madren character. I knew this guy was a slimy little Ferengi from the minute I met him. But I haven't met a Ferengi that isn't a slimy character. Pardon. And we got to talking. He was a weapons merchant at the time. Just straight up, any kind of weapon you wanted, he had it. And we got to talking, and he talked us into these neutronium-laced grappling cables. He said they would not break under any circumstance. They're neutronium infused. Neutronium is unbreakable. Well, I talked to my pirate crew, and these things were going to cost a year's worth of raiding. That's a lot of credits for us. So we agreed. We made the purchase, and then we came across you guys in that nebula. And what happens? The damn cables break! Chorog pounds his hand onto a table. It eerily quakes under the weight of his fist. The unbreakable cables that slimy little topa sold us broke with one phaser shot. That was a year's worth of swag he took from us. I don't hold that lightly. I've been wanting to get my claws on him ever since and just shred him. But here I am on this crew. I made a promise to the pirate admiral that I'd ease up on my ways. I'd try not to be as bloodthirsty and ruthless as I once was. This has been chewing at me for over a year. I just can't get over it. It's tearing me apart on the inside. That's why every time I see someone do something wrong, I just want to rip them apart.
Waitley nods, and he's been jotting down notes in his pad this whole time, and he looks up and he says, has it occurred to you to question why this one particular instance enrages you to the degree that it does, when certainly there have been other, possibly, likely, even worse situations that have not?
He stole from me. It was a time where I stole from others. And people didn't steal from me. This little topa stole from me.
Waitley nods, and he says, so you feel it as a subversion of your expected sense of masculinity?
It's an affront to my pride.
That's certainly another way of putting it. Let me ask you this question. He sets the pad down. Let me ask you this. What is your desired outcome, your desired outcome from our session here. What is it that you are searching for?
I'm searching for a way to be rid of this weight upon me. It weighs me down. It chews at me on the inside. I want to be able to be rid of this feeling that I've been victimized. All those years of me victimizing others, and all of a sudden I'm the one being victimized. It's not a good feeling. It's destroying me on the inside. I'm at conflict with myself.
So, to make certain that I understand what it is that you're after, you are trying to ascertain a method to which you can mentally process this happening to you in a way that does not justify your previous justifications of the things that you have done to others, correct?
In a nutshell, yes.
Waitley nods. I see. I have a book I'd like to recommend to you. Give me a second. He gets up and he goes over to this big bookcase he's got behind his desk that's kind of not the desk that he's sitting at, but the desk. Hold on a second. I have to yell at my dog. Okay. The over by the more partitioned off part of his quarters. And he's looking around. He's like, there it is. And he grabs a book. He comes over and he sets it in front of Chorog on the little table there. And he says, I'm not suggesting that you take everything it says to heart, but there are parts of it that I think you will find very well. Give it a read, and when you finished it, come back and we can talk about it if you like. And the book that he sets down is The Art of Zen and Motorcycle Maintenance.
I get that reference.
I was hoping somebody would.
Oh God, there's some blast out of the past.
But he sits back down, he picks his pad back up, and he jots down a couple more notes, and he says, but as for your current dilemma, may make a suggestion. And he stops and he pops his Starfleet badge off and he sets it down. He leans back in his chair and he says, and I am not saying this as a representative of the Federation. I am saying this as one person of like mind to another. Damn your orders. Damn the ethical confusion. Find the bastard and make him pay. He grins, leans forward, grabs his comm badge, puts it back on. And of course, as is always the case, Doctor's privilege of privacy.
I know nothing.
It seems our time is running out, and I believe you have a thing to do. If there's anything else you need, you know how to get a hold of me. And he stands up and he kind of slowly ushers Chorog to the door, makes sure Chorog has the book, and says, and if you have any other questions, please don't be afraid. He smiles, hits the button for the door to open.
I've already talked to Graves, and I'm pretty sure you know that. Come with me.
Waitley blinks. You want me to come with you?
Yes. You'll be the one to help center me.
He blinks again. Gets this brief look on his face that any kind of empathy roll would say, I should have seen this coming. Give me 1 moment to prepare, and I'll be with you shortly. I will meet you. Transporter room?
I will. I am going to have a briefing with my team. I'm still putting the team together. Just to get you guys a little heads up of what we're going into. I still have some preparation to make on my end. I'll send for you.
Duly noted. I await your order. He grins.
Thank you, Doctor.
After Chorog leaves, Waitley goes back to his desk where he keeps all his personal files. This is for the benefit of the camera. He gives a brief little look down at everything, and then he says, "Computer, activate emergency code Sigma SETI 6. And just kind of mutters to himself, I'll be damned, I might not be coming back. Dun, dun, dun!
Dun, dun, dun! Chorog feels somewhat better, having bared this terrible burden upon the good doctor. Getting this off his chest makes him feel a little better. At this point, he heads for the club. Because, number one, he needs a drink. And number two, he needs to talk to Grimnir. So, Chorog saunters down the hallway briefly, banks a corner to get on the turbo lift, and heads to the club.
All right. Chorog walks into Club 42. Grimnir is standing behind the bar as usual. He's polishing a mug and just kind of idly looking around. And apparently there's a whiny dog in the corner that doesn't know how to shush. Grimnir just gives it the evil eye.
Setsa pipes in.
Chorog, I mean, trying to take care of a dog, it's a big responsibility. Just give him cuddles and... Yeah, he's actually kind of whiny, though.
Okay, now that there is my kind of dog.
Just a dog, it's the dog.
The dog from
A dog. Why did we get a dog?
It's Mary's. Nobody knows where it came from. It just showed up one day.
And Chorog walks in, he bellies up to the bar. Grimnir, I like a war dog. I haven't had one in a while.
All right, sounds good. Reaches under the bar, fills up this big, 40-ounce mug, sets it under the he's got all kinds of different, apparatus behind the bar, and he's got one to chill a drink, he's got one to warm a drink, he's got one to do nuclear fission to a drink. He does something, he pops it, right in front of Chorog, and it's smoking hot. I think I got it to your liking.
At about this time, Kara walks through the door to Club 42 and looks over. Oh, so that's where Nala got off to.
Oh yeah, we did have a dog. I forgot about that. It has been so long since Nala featured in an episode, I completely forgot until you said the name.
Too. And I've got Setsa there.
Wait, who's Nala?
Nala is Kara's dog.
Kara gestures to the husky wearing a, collar with an ensign's, pip on it. That's Nala. That's my dog.
We even have an icon for her for when we stream.
I didn't know you had a dog.
She's a very well-behaved dog, so she wouldn't make it that obvious. Except
Clearly.
She wandered off to Club 42, which is odd.
Oh, she wanted to keep me company, let's just say.
Well, that's fine then.
That was a cool piece.
All right, now that Chorog has finished noticing the dog that he's never seen before, turns back.
Chorog doesn't leave his quarters very often.
Why would I?
Because dog, duh!
My quarters is all the discomforts of home.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a dog.
And we've got movie night occasionally. Feel free to come over.
I'm going to have to. Anyway, Chorog turns back to Grimnir, recentering his thoughts. Grimnir, let me ask you something. What are you doing for the next 2 weeks?
Grimnir blinks. He's like, well, there wasn't a hammer I was supposed to polish, but that can wait. What do you need?
I need you to come on a mission with me. I need a good, strong tough to look badass in the background. A little payback for certain Ferengi who deserves it.
Grimnir has this look of utter frustration on his face. He's like, after he's finally able to wrangle a word out of his mouth, he says, "Are you sure, lad? Well, last time I got invited to a mission, we wound up coming back with a sheep."
Oh, I'm
behind
sure.
the bar, there's a bah!
Hey, sheepy. The sheep pokes its head around the corner and goes at Chorog.
I'm laughing because Chorog has met the sheep before. He just doesn't know it yet, apparently.
Yeah, seriously, I want you to come along on this little mission that I'm putting together. We're gonna take a crack at a little slimeball Ferengi's supply line. we're gonna hurt him in a way that he's never been hurt before.
Grimner slaps his big meaty hand down on the bar very loudly. He says, all right, I'll do it. It's been a while since I've stretched my legs anyway. He taps on his communicator. Hey, Mary, I needed you to take care of me old while I'm gone. Hey, Mary! She must be. She'll get the message later. Taps his comm badge again.
Good, man. That's what I wanted to hear. I have some details to finish working out. I need to find out exactly where his local supply line is, and then I'll let you guys know when we're going to meet to go over this little shindig I'm planning. Because believe you and me, we aim to misbehave.
Grimnir grins very widely and he says, all right, that sounds like a plan, lad. I have to go make sure my sword is sharpened and my steel is blunted. He looks around.
Will I get to shoot anyone? Because I really want to shoot someone.
Well, technically, I can't let you kill someone, but if you want to shoot him in the knees, have at it. The book's a little fuzzy when it comes to the knees.
At that moment, Mary walks in as that exchange is going on. Just kind of looks around and she looks at Grimnir. Hey, last I checked, shooting does not involve killing. She kind of looks around and she says, just don't ask my previous commander that. He begged to differ.
Kara points at her phaser. Look, it's got a stun setting. And if you turn it down real low, it only just hurts.
Out of character, just ask Waitley.
Setsun looks over to Kara and says,
So 2 weeks?
Kara looks back over at her. What, you want to come?
No, not if we're, stabbing or shooting things. Just kind of wondering if you're going to be gone for that long.
No, not so much shooting or stabbing, more like just physically maiming. Broken toe, broken finger, broken lobe,
Yeah.
Kara holds up her left hand. That's why I've got this.
That's the spirit. Latch on to that little Ferengi's lobe with that hand. Really watch him squeal.
Setsa covers her, brushes an ear reflexively and says,
Well, I guess I should say have fun.
All right, I think this would be a good time to take a quick break before we continue on. Your drink, because we are on to part 2.
We hope you enjoyed the musical interlude, 433 by David Cage.
Is that just 4 minutes 33 seconds of silence?
Yes, it is.
All right, where we left off was Chorog had just gotten Grimnir to come along on his little security adventure. Now he was off to get the last member of the team. Last, but certainly not least, we're going after Checkers. So Chorog finds the nearest access way to the Jeffries tubes, pops the panel, and slides on in. He starts crawling his way around, listening, smelling.
Can I make you do a roll?
What?
Can I make you do a roll to find Checkers?
Sure, why not?
Alright, insight engineering to find your way through the labyrinth of tubes.
Alright, we have one success.
It's gonna take a while.
Chorog starts crawling his way through things. He bumps his head a couple of times against some low-hung ductwork that he had forgotten about was there. Then he eventually hears some noise in the tube ahead of him. And he's starting to smell what smells like burrito juice. And he eventually
cigar smoke.
Very fine cigar smoke, that is.
Yep. Eventually he comes to a junction. For some reason there's a chandelier hanging from the ceiling.
The tastiest of cigars.
Indeed.
It's part cigar, part Slim Jim.
Which reminds Chorog, he pulls a eaten cigar out of his pocket and goes to work.
Yes, Chorog comes upon junction with a chandelier installed. One with candles, mind you.
Chorog looks up and says, "Why am I not surprised?"
Across the junction sits Checkers on a welded-together throne. The floor is lined with velvet carpet.
This does not surprise me, Checkers.
You found me.
Yes, I did. Very observant. Got a question for you. What you doing for the next couple of weeks?
Hanging low before they find me.
How would you like to go on a little adventure and maybe get some payback on a slimy little Ferengi?
Payback. I'll see if I can fit that into my schedule, but... You need to keep this secret. You can't let anybody know that you found me.
Found
They're
what?
gonna make me go back.
I
don't
see
want
nothing.
to go back.
Nothing.
Alright.
I should say it's considered an opportunity to maybe get a little revenge on someone and maybe make a couple of deals along the way. I know you, Checkers. You can't pass that up.
Very well. From behind his welded-together throne, he gets a strange-looking rifle and puts on a militarized helmet, and we're ready to go.
All right, then. I'll send for you when I'm ready. I need to track down a certain location first, get the intel on it, then I'll come back and put this little team together. You'll be hearing from me. Oh, and make sure you bring some of those eating cigars. I'm running low.
Of course. By all means.
Be seeing you, Chorog said, making a funny little hand gesture.
Checkers nods, peering from beyond his sunglasses.
And Chorog now has his full team together. Things are beginning to look up for him. Now he just needs to go to his quarters and find a spot in Madren's little empire and squeeze it. Chorog makes his way back out of the Jeffries tube. This time, actually making sure the duck between the low hangers pops out of the Jeffries tube and comes face to face with one skipper, who's staring at him quizzically. Hi, Skipper. Didn't expect to see you here. What are you doing here?
I've come to see the bees.
Chorog finishes pulling himself out of Jeffrey's tube and straightens out his jacket and says, "Be my guest. Go look at the bees. Better you than me. They don't like me."
Aw, have you tried hugging them?
Oh, I tried hugging them. They don't like to be hugged.
Or if they like it when I hug them. I don't think you were just hugging. Come here. You can go hug them together and teach them how to hug. You want to learn how to hug? Hello?
It's dead, Jim.
Hey!
Chorog bravely ran away from the bees.
You hear me now?
There you
Yes.
go.
Oh, okay. We'll go hug the bees. Much as I'm going to regret this.
Hey! Hug the bees.
The skipper leads the way precisely through the Jeffries tubes to the bees. How are the bees today, Eli?
The bees are agitated.
Skipper senses this and says,
You're not little bees. I bring you a friend to hug. You want a hug? Yeah, remember hug? I gave you sugar when you did last hug. Want more sugar? Yeah.
I'm gonna make him roll something. Presence command.
Uh-oh.
Complication range 19.
are you making Skipper roll this or Chorog?
Chorog.
Oh,
Brought a
boy.
friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Skipper
Presence
does
command?
Yeah, presence command and 19 complication range.
Just 19?
I'm feeling You know what? 18. 18, you're right.
What is it? 2d20, 12, then space, then 18?
1 and then 18.
Yeah. Ooh!
Oh, no.
3 successes.
You bastard! The bees calm down.
Chorog very slowly extends his glove towards a few of the bees. And one of the bees lands on his glove. It just kind of, in a bee-like fashion, puzzledly and quizzically looks at him.
And then throws up a bit of honey onto his glove.
One lands directly on his nose.
Well, Chorog's wearing a mask, so...
The nose of his mask.
Chorog somewhat manages to cross his eyes, looking at this bee that's landing on the nose vent of his mask.
Skipper, gestures.
Yes, That's just one bee. You need to hug all the bees.
So Skipper then puts her arms around one of the base of one of the hives and just gives it a nice, gentle hug. Skipper says,
Be like this. You give all the bees a nice, loving hug.
Okay, Skipper. Well, I can do that.
make him roll for it again.
Yes.
Same thing?
Yep.
One success, one complication.
The bees are now swarming his mask.
They're all sealed.
They love Chorog. They love him too much.
This is what Chorog sees. They're covering his eyes.
Skipper, I've been hugged enough. Time to tell the bees to sit down.
They really like you.
They're all getting over his head.
They're liking me too much.
Okay, bees.
It's very heavy and very warm on Chorog's head.
That's he's not your queen. He's not going to lay any eggs for you. So I gotta let him go because he gotta go do stuff. Okay?
He's not Deborah.
Babies.
Chorog is trying very, very hard to stand very, very still as these bees start forming a mask over him.
They're covering his entire head.
Skipper gives a little tardigrade, bit of advice to the bees that it's nap time now. They gotta go back. And she starts laying out little bags of sugar for them.
The bees appreciate this. Skipper is good.
Skipper,
the sugar.
I can go to sleep. Okay.
They're leaving Chorog's head. Skipper has done good.
Very few things in life make Chorog nervous. A head full of bees is one of them. I can hear them buzzing in my ear. They were buzzing in my ear. They were saying naughty things in my ear.
Skipper just nods and says,
You have been anointed. You are one of them now.
I take great comfort in that.
She makes
You
a
must
small
learn to
sign.
weaponize the bees.
She makes a small sign.
You may go in peace and have good luck and be friend to bees.
I will do that, Skipper. Now you go behave yourself. No getting into trouble.
Aw, Koopa Troopa.
Yes, you're my Koopa Troopa.
Koopa Troopa.
You will Koopa Troopa later.
Yay!
She sits down and just starts coloring.
Chorog turns to leave the bees, and a weird thought crosses his mind. A thought for later, Chorog says to himself, as he starts making his way out of the Jeffries tube to go to his quarters. He might eventually winds his way to his quarters, goes, and as soon as he gets in there, he locks the door so he's not disturbed any more than usual. And goes over to one of his computer consoles. Computer, send me any information you have on a supply depot at the following coordinates. Chorog taps a quick set of coordinates into the main computer.
Error 404. Depot not found.
Computer, do a wideband EM search of that grid. The base is there, it's just hidden.
Searching. Searching. Displaying information.
There it is. Chorog begins tapping some notes into his pad. This is Gren's depot. That's how I'm gonna get to him. Gren is a known supplier of Madren. He's a weak little Ferengi, easily scared, and Chorog knows exactly how he can get to him. Because he's not going to go after Madren proper. No, not just yet. He's going to squeeze the supplier. And what worse thing to do to a Ferengi is to cut off his money flow. Well, Chorog taps some more notes, pulls some more information about Gren, downloads them into several other pads that he's going to distribute to his team. Oh, Madren. Madren, you have no idea what's coming for you. I'm gonna squeeze you in a way that you're gonna know it's me. And I'm gonna do it nice and legal. Well, legal anyway. I'm not sure. It's not gonna be quite so nice. Well, Chorog finishes typing up his thing. But, I better go clear this with the captain first, because I'm going to need at least a shuttle large enough. My shuttle is not big enough for this.
The computer interrupts. Command accepted. Clearing data.
Oh, wait. Ah, shit.
I think the Reliance computer might need a tune-up.
Either that or it needs a drink of Rectigino. That's a good thing Chorog already recorded all this information before the computer cleared the data. Computer, when I get done with all this, me and you are going to have a long talk. And by long talk, I'm going to overhaul you from the inside out.
Adding activity to the schedule. Placing on calendar.
Okay, Checkers has gotten the damn computers again.
He does have the codes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Chorog, your communicator beeps. It's Chorog to Rick T. Rick T to Chorog. Sorry.
Chorog reaches in his pocket, taps the communicator. This is Chorog, go ahead.
I have, but your station has been fixed. I was just wondering, how is your meat collection, or how did your meeting go with the captain?
Meeting went quite well. He is approved of a special security operation I will be running to deal Madren a little payback. I'm not going after him directly. I'm going after one of his suppliers. That's one of the worst things you could do to a Ferengi, is cut off his supply chain.
That makes sense. If he isn't able to have anything, then he wouldn't be able to sell anything.
Because, let's face it, he is a menace to the quadrant. This little slime ball, he's sinking lower by the day. He's starting to put hits out on people. We gotta stop this guy.
Yeah,
he attacks civilian freighters. He shakes down other, small time contractors. This needs to stop.
Well, I do have contacts within Starfleet security, so I could see if I could get access to any kind of additional intel on Madren or his suppliers.
Well, I need to be able to backdoor into this place, because I'm going in as a supply merchant. I'm going in there looking to buy, and that's the cover my team is. So if you have contacts within Starfleet security, see if you can clear it for me to go in there without too much trouble. I don't want to be stopped by some overzealous Starfleet patrol looking to score marks with the sector boss.
All right, should be able to contact people in Starfleet intelligence to put in operation on the books.
Contact for Starfleet security found. Alphonse A. Ross.
Oh, this is going to go splendidly.
And who's Ross?
Go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
What
so
was
This is a very deep rabbit hole.
Chorog looks puzzlingly at the computer. Who's Ross? Never heard of him before.
Displaying personnel file. Up comes a picture of a gray-haired, mustachioed man with a very long and interesting career in Starfleet security. Known relations to various members of the crew, including a godfather to Setsa Jagora.
Oh, this guy looks like a real charmer. Probably best if I steer clear of this guy. I don't need his trouble. Alright, well, armed with this new episode, Chorog taps on his comm badge. Kara, head for the conference room. It's time.
Kara's voice is a little muffled and quiet. Okay, let me just finish up. I'm just doing something, and I'll be right there.
Very good. Chorog double taps his comm badge. Hey, Grimnir, it's time. Head to the conference room.
On my way.
Chorog stomps his boot on the deck plating. Hopefully that'll get Checker's attention.
My chandelier!
There is a loud crashing sound in the background. And Chorog quietly chuckles to himself. Chorog double taps his comm badge. Chorog to Watley. It's time. Head to the conference room.
I shall be there as soon as I can.
Very good. Chorog gathers up his belongings and passes a shiny metal plate that he uses for a mirror. He stops for a moment, looks himself in the mirror, and says to himself, Chorog, it's time. Finally gonna get that little greasy little slime ball. So Chorog exits his quarters and makes his way to the conference room.
For a moment, the camera stays on Chorog's quarters, where the closet door quietly slides open, and Kara slightly falls out, holding a voice modulator and a pad she'd been using to control the computer, giggling her head off.
Boy. Only you do that. Oy. Anyway, camera pans in onto the conference room where Chorog is sending out pads, as well as pulling up information on the main screen in the conference room of the depot they will be heading to. Chorog then taps on his comm badge. This is Chorog to Captain Graves.
Graves here.
Captain, for this security mission, I am requesting use of one of the runabouts. My shuttle's too small to carry everybody.
Alright. Who you bringing with?
Grimnir, Kara, Watley, Checkers.
I also want you to take Rick, just to be on the safe side.
Very good. Rick has some contacts in Starfleet security that will help me.
Alright. Sounds good. Do you need any other support? Science, security, weapons teams?
I've talked to Rick here. He's going to handle clearing us with security so we won't get hassled by some patrol out looking to make marks with the sector boss.
Alright. What about Larissa or Bryce?
I could always use more hands in this. I'll take Bryce. Also,
I was actually going to
go ahead.
I was actually going to suggest Larissa. She's got a little bit more field experience.
Very good. Larissa it is. Also,
right.
Captain.
Anything else?
In order to keep our cover, I'd like permission to temporarily alter the runabout, take the ship's markings off of it, and scuff it up a bit so it looks like it's been out there a while. Looks like it's something that's been used.
A voice comes from behind Chorog. You're gonna do what to my shuttles?
Alright, we can assign Oakley to help out with that as well. Get the job done a little bit faster.
Okay.
So, alright. Anything else? I've got to wash off this bubble bath.
You better put it back the way you got it when you're done.
Yeah, ignore her. That's
Hey!
it. That is all for now, Captain. Thank you. Chorog out.
I'm the flight control officer, damn it. Those shuttles are my babies.
Chorog spins around, looks down at Kara. Don't ever sneak up on me like that again. Trust me, you don't want that kind of trouble.
Says the one looking to scuff up my shuttle.
How would you like to smell a Nausicaan fart?
Pah! You don't scare me.
You've never smelled my farts.
Ah, so that's why you wear that mask then, I guess.
Well, it's not for make me look beautiful.
Ah, everyone loves their own brand, don't they?
Oh, we all love the smell of our own brand. Wait a minute, O'Connor has a Rising Corvette docked in the Reliant? What?
Oh, he gifted the Corvette to Kara.
Kara has it at ESD.
That's gonna take time to get here. We don't have time for that.
And Eli has a fucking speed freighter, but that's at Magellan.
Yeah. Oh, we're at Magellan, though.
Well, he's not letting anyone take it.
Oh, believe me, Chorog raised an eyebrow under that mask at the bubble bath thing. He's like, okay, that's more than he wanted to know. Charlie turns back to Kara. Take a seat and start going over that pad. That's got all the information you're gonna ever want to know for this mission.
If you don't put my shuttle back the way I got it, I'm gonna have Decor sit on you.
Don't threaten me with a good time. And relax. Nothing's gonna happen to the shuttle. Watch. It'll be as good as new when we come back. I'll paint it myself.
Oh, hell no you won't. I'll paint it.
Meanwhile, while Chorog and Kara are arguing about who's going to paint what, Grimnir stumbles in.
Grimnir looks around. Oh, this is quite the motley crew of characters, ain't it?
That's what I'm going for.
Where y'all want me at? He's got a big rucksack across his back. He's wearing something that doesn't really look like it fits in the the modern time frame. He's wearing like a leather jerkin, wool leggings, big clod humping knee-high leather boots. He's got a shield.
It'll fit in just fine. Take a seat over there and start going over that. Start looking over the information on that pad. I'll go over it in a minute.
All right. And he goes and pops a squat and starts reading.
Shortly thereafter, in comes Waitley.
As soon as Waitley walks in, and he's in his civvies, but of course he still has a clerical collar on. But as soon as Waitley walks in, Grimnir kind of glances up and gives a dirty scowl, goes back to the pad.
Oh, if it isn't Father, may I?
Waitley looks at Kara and says, "But of course you may."
All right, after that, following Waitley is Larissa.
Larissa just gives a curt nod to the group and sits down professionally.
Following Larissa, strangely, is Setsa, who apparently does not realize she's gone into the wrong room.
Setsa, what are you doing here?
Uh-oh.
I didn't ask you to come along on this.
Okay. Crap. Okay, so Setsa has very wet hair at this point and has basically just shoved herself into a uniform and a little bit of bubble bath on her head.
Setsa, and you're leaking.
And she says,
Is there a mission running? I wasn't sure. I just saw something on the schedule pop up for Kara. I didn't know if it was like a general staff thing or... Am I late or I'm not supposed to be here?
Kara quirks an eyebrow. Bubble bath?
Yeah, just a normal bath.
Really? Just a totally normal bath? With your Vathiathi?
Her face just goes completely blank.
Kara, meanwhile, starts giggling.
She says,
I can leave if I've just made a little bit of a mistake here. Just, if I can help, I'm able to help. Just, someone tell me what to do.
Kara, meanwhile, is repressing her giggles but holding eye contact with Setsa.
Setsa is just very thoroughly embarrassed by the situation.
Setsa is just thoroughly embarrassed by the situation.
Well, Setsa, since you're here, grab a seat and might as well sit in on this too. Just waiting on Checkers.
See what I posted.
Oh, so Checkers is not going to come to the briefing. He's waiting in the runabout.
That's Checkers for you. Hey, Kara, I would check that runabout for bugs before we go anywhere if I were you. Oh, Checkers is.
The listening kind or the scuttly kind?
Both. He's been messing around with them bees. I don't want to all of a sudden be, halfway there and all of a sudden, like, bees start pouring out of the panels.
Actually, if we could time it right, that would be
a hell of a security feature. But, of course, he is. Oh, wait. With his team 99% assembled, with Checkers being the exception, because Checkers is Checkers, Chorog pulls up a large schematic of the depot that they will be raiding. Team, I want you to take a look at Destiny Station. This piece of garbage is a state-of-the-art smuggling depot, operated by one Gren. This Chorog pulls a image of Gren up on the monitor. This slimy, weaselly little character.
Kara twirls a stylus around her fingers. So, which is it, a piece of garbage or state-of-the-art?
The state-of-the-art piece of garbage.
Kara just gives him a blank look and then just goes back to looking at her pad.
I can't please them all. Anyway, back to this slimy character. Yeah, that'll work for Gren. Gren, Gren. This slimy character is one of Madren's main suppliers in this sector. We get to this guy, we cut this guy off, we hurt Madren. Because the only way you can get to one of the best ways to get to a Ferengi is cut off his supply chain. Draw goes back to the schematic of the station. We are going to be using a modified borrowed runabout. Have Oakley dirtied up and scuff it up a little bit so it looks like it's been around the block or two. Our task, go in, start asking some of the vendors, find Gren, get to Gren, silence Gren. Possibly turn him. This is our chance to finally put a stop to Madren and his sleazeball schemes. Madren has sunk to a new low for him. Before it was just selling weapons. That's what Ferengis do. They are weapon merchants. But now he's putting hits on people. Important people. We can't have that. He's a threat to the quadrant, and he has to be neutralized. The only way we're going to get to him is to get to one of his lieutenants first. And this guy can be turned. This guy, I've known this guy. This guy is weak. He's a scared little slime ball. All we gotta do is twist his lobe just the right way and we'll turn him.
Couldn't somebody just come along then and twist his lobe the other way and return him, if he's that weak?
Well, the key to him, you twist the lobe, but you just don't let go. There are certain parts of a Ferengi where once you twist it, it won't twist back. Any questions?
Setzer raises a hand.
What's on your mind?
So which exact parts of the Ferengi we're going to be twisting? Like, just want to be clear.
Well, I'm going to grab the left lobe. I'm going to have Kara there grab the right lobe. And we're both going to twist in opposite directions.
Oh, okay. So, should one of us then ask questions?
That's what Grimnir's for. He's the muscle. He's going to ask some questions.
Okie dokie.
And Checkers. Checkers is going to be there to run security for the mission. He's going to be the man in the corner watching, make sure no one tries to come in, and if someone tries to intervene, he will neutralize them.
Okay. And then, let's see. So, with the garbage pile advanced station, is there anything that we want to do to, like, check in first, rent rooms?
When we first dock, there's a dock master. He can be easily bribed.
Okay.
Few credits behind his back, and we were never there.
Do we have credits?
I have some credits tucked away for a rainy day.
Okay, but what if you actually have a rainy day? Do you want to try to find some other credits?
Well, that's the thing. Not only are we there to silence this clown. Since I know you're good with computers, I want you to while we're taking care of this guy, I want you to try to hack into his computers and see what you can dig up on Madren.
Okay, yeah, that more than able to do. Bring some algorithms to really help out with that. And yeah, that's the AI thing I've been working on. So cool. Yeah. So if Gren's a clown and we're twisting his lobes, you know what? Oh no, I'm just gonna keep these visuals to myself.
You know what? I think he'll probably make some funny noises. But anyway, yeah, grab everything you can off the computers. If anything else, just send it to Ross. I'm sure he'd be interested.
Ooh, yeah.
That's not a bad idea. You send the master copy to us, and we'll send an anonymous copy to Ross. I'm sure he'd like to have his way with this toad.
Wait. Which station did you say we're going to?
It's known as Destiny Station. It doesn't exist. Not on any star map.
Oh,
It is hidden behind.
Alright.
It's hidden behind an advanced EM field. I already know the frequency to look for to find it. But if you try to find it on sensors, it won't show up.
Okay, so are we gonna have to, walk through the station a whole lot? If so, I'm gonna need an app.
Well, as far as I can tell on this schematic, the docking bay is in the lower portions here. I would imagine his office is towards the top.
We're walking through the whole station.
Kara stands up and goes over to the replicator in the corner of the room. She stands in front of it, tapping a few buttons, comes back a moment later, and plops down on Jibby's head a black tri-corned pirate hat with a large red feather.
Yeah, this will probably work.
I will.
Alright, yeah, I think
as far as attire for this mission, complete, non-uniform, but dressed like you're a merchant or a weapons dealer.
Sansa just writes down pirate in her the notes she's been taking, which is an incredibly long list by now, and just nods, and then just mutters to herself.
Oh, hopefully I don't get recognized.
Nah, you won't be recognized.
Oh, you
I am working with Richter. He is going to clear our identities through the local sector, through the local Federation sector patrol, so we don't have any hassles. And I have secured our identities that we'll be able to hack into their computers the minute we get into range. As far as they're concerned, we're just another group of merchants.
That's a nod. Her hand returning to the table.
And I have one more bit of business I need to attend to. Let's just call it an ace in a hole, in case Mr. Gren here just tries to act like Mr. Big Ferengi. I want to have a little surprise in store for him to really get him talking.
You hear a knock at the door as
Enter.
Yeah, Richter opens the door and is standing there in basically what is amounting to Captain Jack Sparrow as a pirate. Did you wish me to come on the journey, or should I just want support from here? I've already got this outfit replicated.
Yeah. Chorog looks him over and not quite sure what to make of what he's looking at. Yeah, I definitely would want you on the team. In case Setsa runs into any kind of complication with the computers, I want you there to be able to give her a hand.
And
I don't know what kind of data encryption that Gren has on his computers. Ferengis aren't stupid when it comes to keeping their records secure.
Well, I will at least be able to assist with the general structure and layout of the station. The computers aren't necessarily my specialization, but we do have a lot of...
Oh, don't worry, we've got a computer expert right here.
Yeah.
Kara pats, sets on the shoulder.
Yes, we do have Grunt in that area, and I will be happy to assist.
And just to make this clear,
Oh,
this is a zero body count mission. We are there to turn this guy, get information, and get out. We want to put the fear of Grethor into him. We want to make it so that doing business with Madren looks less and less ideal. This is the beginning of the end for one Madren. We are going to put an end to his schemes once and for all. Now, are you guys all in?
I got nothing better to do.
My engineering team has got the Reliant handled.
yeah, I guess so. If I'm coming along, just someone tell Graves so he doesn't worry too much.
Don't worry, I'll take care of her, Julia. She kisses Setsa's cheek, and I'll make sure nobody shoots you.
Yay!
Grimnir, you in or you out?
He just grunts and nods.
Take that as a yes. Waitley, you in, you out?
I was not aware that I had a choice. Smiling.
And with that being said, Chorog takes a moment to remove his mask, revealing a somewhat smile, knowing that he is finally, after all this time, finally going to be able to get his claws. Madren is finally going to for all those years ago.
Kara, meanwhile, teasingly averts her eyes and shouts, "Oh, put it back on! Put it back on!"
Chorog just stands and just rolls his eyes.
That's
Okay.
busy playing with her new hat.
Chorog seals the mask on his face. He says, we will continue making preparations. This time next week, we're going to be heading to Starbase, to Destiny Station, and part one of this little plan will be underway. I have one more final detail to see to before we go.
Oh, 1 week? I can squeeze in a lot of bubble baths in that time. She glances at Setsa.
Setsa blushes. Tries not to giggle.
Bubble bath. I've never had a bubble bath. Chorog looks at Setsa and says, maybe I'll take a bubble bath.
I'm sure we could get you some of the bubbles. Just don't drink it.
No, do drink it. I want to see what happens when he burps afterward.
Little for me, little for you. Meeting is adjourned. And I'll contact you when we're getting ready to go.
Come on, Setsa. You can help me pick out my clothes. I need something with a lot of leather and spikes and chains.
Stop by my quarters. I'll find something for you.
You go full Koopa Troopa?
Chorog watches as the team gets up. And leaves. He's to stand there. He cracks his knuckles real loud. So he knows it's game on.
So the real question is, does Setsa go with Kara and help her pick out an outfit? Or does Setsa leave Kara to Chorog's mercy?
Setsa goes with.
Okay, they go and pick out an outfit. I just thought it'd be funny. No. We'll just let Chorog decide what she wears. How could that go wrong?
And with that, end credits begin to roll. Mid-credits. Chorog is poking around the Jeffries tubes again. He's trying to find Skipper. Where that little tardigrade go to? There you are. Chorog reaches into the bag that he has and pulls out the replica horned animal skull. Shows it to Skipper and says, Koopa Troopa time.
Koopa Troopa.
And with that, screen goes dark.
And comes back up and shows Setsa and Kara in their quarters. Kara is wearing a leather jacket, leather skirt, some torn fishnet stockings, high-heeled boots, and is covered with a great many chains and spikes. She looks like she's getting ready to rob someone. Think this will make me fit in?
You need a hat. Or a mask or something.
A hat?
They're essential for disguises. Yeah, a hat.
I can see Kara putting on a hat like Hector Barbosa wears. A big black hat with a big feather.
Setsa's already got one.
Or perhaps a hat like Captain Rios wears.
I need a Napoleon hat.
Setsa suggests the following.
Kara giggles but says, "What the hell?" and grabs it from the replicator and sticks it on her head.
Oh,
Wait.
I mean, giant leather top hat with little button thingies, that's kind of, I think that's what I like.
Kara teasingly takes off the hat and gives a slight bow. Time for a bit of the old ultraviolence.
Baller hat could work too.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.